Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. This is Mukesh and you're watching Curious Minds. In today's video, we're going to talk about 10 questions on moving to Canada from United States. We understand that moving to a new country can be a life-changing experience, but at the same time, it could be exhausting and confusing. Whether you're moving to Canada from United States or any other country, the answers provided in this video should help you simplify some of your concerns. So, is Canada colder than United States? The majority of the Canadians live within 100 miles of the US-Canada border. So it shouldn't come as a shock that Canada is not much colder than some of the nearby US cities. Winters in Edmonton aren't to be scoffed at, but the temperatures in Vancouver rarely drops below freezing. Toronto is almost as cold as Chicago in the wintertime, but has perfect beach weather in the summertime. But if you're living in the northern parts of Canada, expect weather to be similar to Alaska. The next question is about US and Canadian driving license. Before exchanging your license, you will be able to drive in Canada on your US license for a period of 90 to 180 days. Provided that you show sufficient driving experience, it should be pretty straightforward to exchange a US-based driving license for a license issued by a Canadian province you are planning to move to. In our case, we requested for a Michigan driving record from the state of Michigan's DMV website and took that letter that we got in the mail to a drive test location here in Ontario and got our license transferred immediately. If you move to Canada from any other country, you should get an international driver's permit or an IDP from your home country, which allows you to drive for 60 days after you move to Canada. The next question is about coverage under the public health care system. Canadian permanent residents are covered by the public health insurance after an initial 90-day waiting period. Therefore, it's advised that you apply as early as possible and get a private health coverage for the initial 90-day period. With public health insurance, you don't have to pay for most healthcare services, but please note that dental coverage, vision coverage, and prescriptions are not covered under the public health insurance. International students and visitors are not covered by the public health care. The next question is about whether you can bring your family to Canada as a permanent resident. Spouse or common law partner and children under the age of 22 can accompany the permanent resident as long as they are included on your PR application. Children older than 22, parents, grandparents, siblings, or any other family members are not eligible to be included on the application. The next question is about, what if I'm 35 and older? Will I be eligible to move to Canada? Your odds of getting a PR through Express Entry program are higher if you're under 35. Having said that, it is not impossible if you are older than 35 to get a permanent residency. You will have to have either a job offer, a provincial nominee, have a sibling in Canada, or be able to speak French. All of these will give you additional points towards your CRS score and increase your eligibility. The next question is about, when can I get a Canadian citizenship after moving to Canada? Yes, you will be able to become a Canadian citizen provided you meet the citizenship requirements for a permanent resident. The requirements are, you must have lived in Canada for more than 1,095 days in the last 5 years, pass the test on rights, responsibilities, and knowledge of Canada, prove your language skills, and you must have filed your taxes for the time you have lived here if you needed to. The next question is about whether you can transfer your credit score from United States to Canada. Although your credit score from United States will not be transferable, most Canadian banks will consider your US score for issuing you a credit card or a mortgage. But you'll still have to start building your credit score in Canada. If you apply for a Canadian credit card without using your US credit score, you would most likely have to start with a secured credit card in Canada. The next question is an important one. How is the cost of living in Canada compared to that of the US? Now, apart from housing, the cost of living in Canada is similar to that of the US. Although we have noticed that automobiles here have a higher price tag compared to US. Also, since sales tax or HST is higher in many provinces, you will end up paying slightly more for everything you purchase. We found this interesting website where you can find the cost of living for any city in the world. The next question is whether I can bring my car from US to Canada. You have two options when you move here. Either you buy a car after you have started to live here, or you import your car from the United States as long as the loan is completely paid off and the title is clear in your name. And now the most important question. How is the housing situation in Canada? As you already know, the housing cost will primarily depend on the city you choose to move to. If you move to Toronto or Vancouver, the housing cost will be similar to that of New York City or Chicago and will be extremely expensive, just like any other major cities of the world. A typical 2-bedroom condo in Greater Toronto area would be around 2,800 Canadian dollars, and a 1-bedroom condo would be around, say, 2,100 Canadian dollars. And now, very quickly, a few other questions that have been asked frequently to us. Can I bring my pets to Canada? The short answer is yes, but you'll have to read the Canadian Food Inspection Agency's guidelines carefully. And the next question that's asked frequently is, will I have to pay taxes in Canada, United States, or both after I move to Canada? We have already covered this topic in another video titled, How Taxes in Canada Work for New Immigrants. So that's it from us for this video. I hope you have gathered some useful information through this video and eased some of your concerns. Make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you and see you in the next one. Until then, have a wonderful day and stay curious.